All right, part three, David's Mighty Men. We're going to talk about David's royal council. So right off the bat, Second Samuel 8 and First Chronicles 18. The list is a little bit different with some variations. So as we go each person, I'll touch base on both lists and kind of explain it through. Now, also remember from part one, he accumulated all of these guys. He didn't just put it together. So it looks like he got a good portion of his council at the very beginning after he killed David, and Saul gave him charge of the thousand man army. And then he would have accumulated the rest of the guys as he went going through, and obviously that all makes sense. So right off the bat, the captain of his guard is Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Joab plays a big part in the David story, and then after that, he kills Absalom, David's one of David's son that's trying to kill David. So there's a couple things in there that are very interesting about Joab. First and foremost, he is not the son of a man. He gets passed over by Amasa to be head guard because, quote unquote, Amasa was the son of a man. So Joab is not. He does not come from pure human blood. So he's got some Nephilim in him right off the bat. He has 10 armor bearers, where Goliath had at the most two. And also, when Joab kills Amasa, he takes 3 spears in one hand. So he's a big fella. He also by himself subdues the area of Jebus for David, and that's what becomes Jerusalem. He goes in and conquers it himself. Pretty crazy. Next, we've got Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the chivalrous man from Kabzel. Now, Benaiah, he is over the Cherethites and the Pelethites. They are David's initial bodyguards. They are known in the land as deadly mercenaries, and we'll talk about them in a second. But Benaiah, pretty bad dude. He is technically has a name of the top 3 in David's Mighty Men, but he's not quite in the top 3. So shows you how bad some of these dudes are. Benaiah kills 2 lion-like men of Moab by hand, and then kills a lion by hand. And then later on, he kills an Egyptian giant. He takes the giant spear out of his own hands and kills him with it. So really tough dude. Makes sense why he's over David's bodyguards. Now the Cherethites and the Pelethites. In the Orthodox Jewish version, it does make mention of the Cherethites as being Cretans, so from the land of Crete. If you go down to the Minoan ancestral, you go down that rabbit hole and look into who the Minoans were. Pretty tough people. Did a lot of acrobats with bulls and their pottery. Real wild stuff. The Pelethites look to be the Peleset people, which the difference is in Hebrew it's Pelethite, in Egyptian it's Peleset. So it's kind of basically the Philistines were just this huge branch of sea people. And they went to different places and did different things. One chunk of them were the Cherethites and the Pelethites. Again, David's bodyguards, his initial, deadly mercenaries. A lot of times, Benaiah would take the Cherethites and Pelethites out to go on deadly missions and open up new areas and stuff like that. So pretty wild stories. Next we have, and this is a really good one. He's mentioned in the Second Samuel 8 list, but he's not in the First Chronicles 18 list. What I've noticed, sometimes it's misspellings, sometimes they probably died in battle, and like a brother in arms would join and take their position. We'll see more of that with the 37 Mighty Men. And this one, he doesn't come back. Adoram. Now, Adoram is listed 3 times in the Bible, and each time his name is spelled a little differently. So it seems like it may not be his name, maybe a position or a nickname. These are really wild dudes, so they kind of do things differently. Now he was over the tribute, which is the forced labor. Now, what they were doing with Jebusites, Amorites, Perizzites, Girgashites is they were conquering and they were forcing those gentlemen into forced labor. So wrap your mind around the fact that giants were being conquered and used to build buildings, Wouldn't it be wild if we had evidence of that right now, right? Now, his name translated means Lord of Height. So you can kind of see why he would be over the forced labor. Next, we've got Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the recorder. Now, in Hebrew, that is Mezkir, which it is the recorder or remembrancer. This was a high-ranking official in the Jewish state, essentially the king's chancellor or vizier. A good example of this is the movie 300. Remember the guy that loses his eye? He doesn't get to join a battle because he's the one that's going to go back and retell the stories. These weren't written stories. Like, a lot of people couldn't even read at that point. That was not a thing. So these feats and these stories, they were remembered and retold. So David had that in his royal council, somebody that was with him through battle and that could retell the stories, which is pretty wild. And now he also is in the second, the First Chronicles list too. So he makes it through. Shiva was the scribe. Now, which in Hebrew is Sofer. The Sofer, or Sophir, however you want to say it, is a scribe who writes holy texts, ensuring precise calligraphy and adherence to specific rules and traditions. You can take a lot from that. At this point, while they're conquering, they are trying to, make control the chaos of the world and make civilization. So, but he is not actually in the First Chronicles 18 list. Sariah is with an S. Now, Sariah is, I believe, a cousin or brother to Othniel, the first judge of Israel. And Sariah is also attributed to a family of craftsmen in the Valley of Craftsmen. So they had special knowledge of working with metallurgy and, and whatever, and, wherever that went and how they got that knowledge. It's crazy. Next, we have Zadok and Abiathar, the priests. Now, in 2 Samuel, that's those two guys. In 1 Chronicles, it's Zadok and Ahitub, Zadok and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar. So apparently Abiathar, doesn't make it through the battles, and his son takes over a role of high priest for David's royal council. A really cool feat for these guys is 2 Samuel 15:29. Zadok and Abiathar are transferring the ark by themselves. Read into the ark, and you'll know why that is an unheard of feat of just two dudes grabbing it. Now, obviously, they are Levitical priests, and in the Orthodox Jewish and Hebrew, they were the Kohanim for David, which means it is a line of Levitical genealogy. Next, a really good one is Ira, the Jairite. He was chief ruler about David. Now, Jairite in Hebrew is Yairi, Yairi, and he is a Kohanim for David, which is similar to a priest. Now, it does come from the Levitical line, different roles, but Yairi is translated as forest. So Ira the forest was a chief Kohanim for David. What are they telling us there? That is his initial council, comprised of looks like a couple giants and some just really tough dudes. Some people that clearly don't come from the line of man. So that's just another continuance of Nephilim and the effects of what happened with Genesis 6. How about that? Some more really tough dudes around David.